Please excuse my messy table. It's awful. I have to fight with hot glue all the time. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, today I am going to be making a dream catcher. So what I've got is a hoop. I think it's a 9-inch hoop. I'm going to take the center, remove the outer one, and I'm going to work with the centerpiece, which is 9 inches, give or take. Okay, I also have some thick white wool and some strong crochet cotton. I also have a darning needle, which has got the sort of hook on the end, a flat hook. I've got some wooden beads and some white feathers. Okay, so the first thing to do, I like to wrap my hoop with the wool. Let's just put a little bit of glue anywhere on here. Oh, that looks pretty dirty. Needs a clean. Just a little bit of glue on there. Okay. And then just wind away. Oops, sorry. Let's move that up a bit so we can see a bit more. That's it. This part is pretty painfully boring. If you're watching me at some stage, I hope you're having a good day. And you're having great weather. That's better, I think. Now, quite often, I would wind my my hoop with a fabric, a white fabric cut into strips, like what do you call it? It's a reasonably thick fabric. It's not like a fleece. It's kind of a satin on one side and kind of fluffy on the other. And that's what I would normally use, but I thought this time I would use wool. regretting it already because this is going to take me forever. Oops, sorry. It's looking good. Long way to go yet. Oh my gosh, and my dog. Poor little bugger. He hears a siren outside and that sets him off. I don't know if it hurts his ears or what it does, but gee whiz. Happens all the time. Poor little bugger. Oh, my husband's managed to calm him down. That's good. It's looking good, looking good. We're about a quarter of the way through. We have a cold, horrible day today in Ballarat, Victoria. We're supposed to be spring, but we're still getting winter weather. Go figure. Weather's all over the shop. Now don't worry when this twists because it sorts itself out. Just try not to have any gaps. That's really nice textured wool, this one. Kind of a velvet feel. What is it? It is nippers. What is nippers? Nippers. Better Baby. 100% polyester. Okay. Not that it matters. almost halfway. Oops. Now, obviously, had I used the fabric, I'd be done by now. Grr. This is actually the first time I've used wool for around the outside. I just thought, try something new. Change is as good as a holiday, they say. What a stupid saying. Do you know what? I'm going to cut this off. And then I can join it later. That's better. Moving at a faster clip now. Can I just go for a sec? And I'll be back in a tick. Sorry, I'm just doing something on another screen and I'll be back in a tick. Here we go. Okay, back to it, back to it. This is only my second live stream and I'm not getting anyone in yet. Maybe because I don't know how to advertise it or I don't have enough followers. I'm not quite sure what's the story. But it's kind of fun because you can't pause if you make a mistake and then come back to it. Kind of like that pressure. Oh, it's not really pressure. It's when you're doing something you really enjoy. And I do love to show people what I do. Tell them how to do it. used to be a doll maker from 2003 is when I really started my doll business called Dolls on Parade. I designed country dolls, excuse me, raggedy dolls, primitives, and sold my patterns online. And I used to design dolls for the Australian magazine Country Threads. If you're Australian, you've probably heard of that. And I did that for about, oh my gosh, is it 6 years or so? About that. Which is really nice. So I did that, and then I gave up. Oops. I stopped doll making because my arthritis was playing up, and I thought, no, that's too much. It was causing me a lot of pain in my hands. And I think I was all dolled out, because I created so many dolls that I just couldn't think of anything different, So I thought it's time to hang up the calico and the stuffing and try something else. So I still kept the Dolls on Parade going, the website and the blog. I had a blog going as well, which is really good. There is an American craft site. Oh, I can't remember what it is at the moment. They still carry my patterns, which is good. And what I've been doing the last few years is creating beautiful books with my patterns in them. Self-publishing them, and I've sold quite a number. I've got my favourite dolls, volume 1. I think there's about 15 of my doll patterns in there. Beautiful, beautiful books, absolutely gorgeous, with beautiful graphics, full-size patterns, and all the instructions. Just gorgeous. And then the second one, My Favourite Dolls, volume 2, is Down on the Farm. That's where I've put all my critter dolls, like cows and rabbits and chooks, all those kind of dolls. What else have I done? I've got my Calico Bear book, which is just a recent one this year. My Calico Bears were so incredibly popular when I went to sell them, at fairs and markets, etc. Always sold. So I put them into a book on their own. I've designed a number of stitcheries as well, embroidery things. And I've got two books. One is called Stitching. So these are all available on Amazon. If you just look up my name, Stella Whittingham, you'll find all my books if you're interested in having a peek. The first book I did, Stitching's book, is just full of sketches for you to trace off and embroider, from teddy bears to flowers to primitive stuff. I think it's got over 180 designs in it, so it's really a lovely book. lovely presented. And then I've put another book together called Stitch with Love, and that has got all the little wall hangings I've designed and table runners, all that kind of things. And I also have got a book on knitted toys, and that's also available on Kindle, the knitted toy book. In that one, you can knit an elephant, a dinosaur, a clown, a turtle, and a helicopter. I remember when I was designing and knitting toys back, this was back before I did actual cloth dolls. I was knitting toys first. And I said, I would love to design a helicopter, something for a little boy. And my husband said, you can't knit a helicopter. How would that work? And I thought, well, red flag to a bull, mate. Ha! So I did. And it's gorgeous. It is the cutest thing. Okay, we've come to the end. Let's just pop a little bit of glue on there, on here. I'm just going to loop this around and pop it through that loop where the glue is, and then just pull it tight. Okay, let's get rid of that glue. Don't throw that away. Okay, we've got this now. Now for the web. Okay, crochet cotton. Make sure you don't get a cheap and nasty one, because they do break, and you've got to pull these reasonably tight. So give it a tug. That's going to work well. And the way I work out how much I'm going to need, I'll just pop this round there. And I'm just going to do this, grab this 10 times, make 10 lengths the same. Any more and you're just going to be tangled up in thread. Where we go? 4. Joining the threads on the web is reasonably easy, and you can make it into a feature. I'll show you if we have to do that. We probably will. So I'll show you when the time comes. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to go for 8. That's looking a bit large. 8. Right. We're threading up our needle. You probably are going to have a little bit of tanglement because you've got so much thread, but just be aware. Okay, I'm just going to grab the end, start somewhere here. Doesn't matter where you start, just tie it, knot it. Okay, so what we're going to do first is push this down to about halfway down the width of the hoop. Take it over and bring your needle through. And pull all the thread through. Pull all this right to your first knot. Just give this one more little knot here to secure. I'm all about security. I don't like things falling apart. So there we go. And now we're just going to trim off that there. Okay. I might need this just a little lower. How's that? Okay. Place your yarn over. This is the way I do it. Some other people may do it differently. Over, under, and through. And that's that. So hold that. Over, under, and through. And try and get your spacing as close to the same size as you can. This is just a little bit off, but you don't have to be totally exact. And pull it reasonably tight. Over, under, and through. Yep, and this is going to happen a lot, unfortunately. Eek. The first row is quite hard to see. I'm going to let my yarn just hang. Okay, over, under, and through. And try and keep these reasonably tight. Not breakable tight, but, firm. I might be a bit small. There we go. Over, under and through again. Now you can measure and mark your distances, but I don't really think that's really necessary. You can just eyeball it. Sorry, I keep going out of frame, I'm sorry. Oops, we've got a knot. Thanks, babe. My hubby just brought me a cup of tea. Bless his beautiful heart. Okay, we're coming on to the last stretch for this first row. Over, under and through. Now when you get to this last part, your last, this is where you started here, so that your last thing on this first row is going to be the first one, and it's going to come into here. So you need to work out one piece there, and the next loop is going to go into here, not here. So we might just move this one over this way just a little, not too much, just a little. Okay, over, under and through. Okay, now we're going to start the second one, but if you'll notice, I've got quite a distance between here and here. So some of these will need to be moved. So I'm going to move this one over just a tad, just a little. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm still going to do over, under and through, but I'm going to go over this one, this loop here, and over this one. So it's just going to go in like that. Now you can see you've got that loop there. Pull this quite tight and just pull that loop. There you go. Now I like to hold that loop, that knot there, and go into the next one, through that, and over this. And just ease it to the middle and gently pull your thread. Your thumb and finger on that one. Grab that, grab that loop. Okay. Pull it quite tight without the possibility of snapping the thread. Grab that. Into that loop. Sometimes you can hear that snap. That's when it really tightens itself. If you've got good strong thread, it shouldn't snap. I mean, it shouldn't break when you snap it like that. If you're a bit wary of that, don't pull it so tight. Grab that. Top to bottom and over that one. You can see it coming together, your web. It can be a little hard on the fingers here. But if you just relax with it, it'll be fine. We're still going on the second row, coming up to the beginning of the third row very shortly. Oops. And I definitely recommend this kind of needle. I actually don't know if this is a darning needle or a tapestry needle, to be honest. Either one or the other. Just got that little curve there. It just makes it easier to go under the loops. I've tried it with a straight needle and I've tried it with a crochet hook, and for me it doesn't work. Okay, we're at the end of the second row, so hold that. Oh no, we've got one more to go. This was the first of the second row, so we're going through there just like we've been doing. Okay, that's that. Now we're starting our third row, and we take this. So we're going down there, up and over. Make sure you center it as best you can. Down, up and over. And just give it a pull, down, up and over. If you try and keep your threads up here, to the top right of where you're working, if you're right-handed that is, you're less likely to get tangled. You know, it's less likely to get caught around here. So down, up and over. Okay, I just got a knot happening here I've got to fix. And another one. There we go. Just untangling a bit and taking some thread away from the end. Oops, sorry. Just moving my needle towards the end a bit more. Okay, back to this. Now we'll have to give that a little pull because it would have slackened off when we left it. Down, up and over. You can see how the web is coming together. Down, up and over again. Excuse me. go for a pop now, hopefully. Yep. And that seems to tighten up the whole string. Just that little pop. Down, up and over again. Try and get any knots before they actually, become big ones. Anyway, what I was saying before about doll making, etc. Whoops. I'm actually working on another book, putting all my Raggedy Ann dolls into one beautiful book. I buy the graphics to decorate my book from the most amazing graphic design artist. I think I might have a video somewhere showing some of my books if you're interested in doll making. Sometimes I think I'd like to get back to it. When I finished doll making, I didn't do any crafting for a while, and oh my, I think I just couldn't deal with that, because I'd been crafting and, sewing since I was 14 when I made my first dress for myself. I made my children's clothes, especially for my daughter. So I've been crafting for most of my life, let's say about 50 odd years, give or take some breaks in between. So when I decided to get back into crafting again, I found YouTube. No, first it was Pinterest, sorry. First it was Pinterest. I found that, which was absolutely amazing. And that sort of inspired me to get back in and do what I love best. Now just keep going around whoops. Sorry. To the next loop, just keep going around, grabbing the next loop. Because you'll come to a stage when you don't know, when you can't tell where you started from. So just keep going. Keep going and going and going, and it will get smaller and smaller, obviously. Oh, you can see, here's the beginning. I do have a bit of a knot somewhere. There we go. So anyway, back to my story. I found Pinterest, put a lot of my stuff on Pinterest, and I got inspiration from other people, developed my own style, and with two lovely friends who taught me how to do embroidery stitching, we created lots of little decor pillows, you know, with little vintage sayings on them and pretty fabrics around, like, I don't know, best friends, may your heart be grateful for the simple things, you know, really nice sayings like that. And we stitched them on the fabric and bordered them with pretty fabrics and then made them into little cushions. Some of them we put ribbons on for hanging. So that got me into stitching, and then I was designing my own. And I discovered that I'm more of a creator than a salesperson. I tried, you know, we did quite a few markets, etc. But I was never comfortable within myself. I preferred to be behind the drawing board, you know, designing. And that's why I loved the gig with Country Threads magazine. Because I was designing for them. Now look, we are growing and growing. Now by now you should have it down pat. Just stretch that thread out a bit. Down, up and over. Just got to have a drink of my tea. Oh, yeah. Be gentle when you do that. And don't do it with every loop because it'll become too taut and it will snap. Oops, sorry. I don't know that I'll do any more live streams. I'm not sure, because that doesn't give me the option of pausing if I need to go to the loo. You can see these little triangles becoming smaller and smaller. I hope you can see that clearly what's happening. Now, if you've got little hands like I've got, it's going to become a little bit difficult once you get to beyond your finger reach. I think at some stage I am going to probably need a new piece of thread. Now, once it gets beyond your reach, you have to come in from here. Just don't cause yourself any discomfort or pain. In some of the dream catchers I've done, I've left the circle in the center open, and I've put a crystal inside, which is really nice. It's very effective. And if that's hung up near a window, wow, you just get the rainbows and it's just glorious. I love working with crystals. You can see how they're getting smaller and smaller now. See how we're going? That's a beautiful web. You can see how tiny the little triangles are getting now. Obviously they'll get smaller the further you go in. I do have nice crystal that I could put on this if I was going down that road, but I'm not sure whether to use it or not. I might show you just going straight through rather than creating something fancy like that. We'll just go straight through to the center, and we will be putting in some new thread shortly. So I'll show you how to do that. Oh, for heaven's sakes, my ring. It keeps twisting around. I've lost quite a lot of weight, so my fingers are a bit thinner than they used to be. Oh, here he goes again. He really hates the sirens. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. You can see how small these little triangles are now. And they get smaller. Oh, little man. He's a little chihuahua. Neurotic, I swear. Neurotic. Frightened of every little noise. It does get a little bit awkward once you get down to this stage. And it's at this stage where your curved needle really comes into its own. But don't use one of those really like half circular ones. They will just not work. It'll frustrate the heck out of you. Because they seem to have a life of their own. I'm going to be joining up another piece soon. As you get closer to the center, it sometimes gets a little bit hard to see where your little triangle is. And so be aware of where your last loop was there, and grab the next triangle. Not quite ready for another piece yet. You can see how small these triangles are getting now. Oops. It's telling me I should probably join another piece now. Okay, I'll do that. So I'll take my needle through that one. Now I've got that loop. I'm going to take my needle back up through the loop. Shoot. Okay, I've secured that, and it's secured inside that. Oops, it's secure in that triangle there. I don't need too much more, so just take about 2 feet. Now I'm just going to tie it on very, very close to that knot. Now what I will do with this bit, I normally would thread a bead onto here because I don't like leaving knots. Okay, so just move that off to the side. Okay, you can see where we were at that middle there. Now just go on to your next triangle. Let me just move these out of the way. And we continue going round. You will need to pull it just a little bit tighter. And you can see how much smaller they're getting. Now I came from that one there, so it's this one I want next. And that one there. And that one. they're becoming a little bit harder to see now. It's that one there. And there's a tiny one there. There it is. That is the end of this trail here. And there's a tiny little one in there from this trail. If you follow the trail, you should be fine. Okay, and the next trail is here. There's your triangle there. Now this trail, and that's the triangle. Now you'll find your next triangle is on the other side of your knot. There it is, it's from this trail here. Here we go. And here's the next little triangle from that trail. By pulling gently, you can see where the trail goes and where the next one is. This one is this little triangle from this trail is very hard to see, but it is there. It's not here. It is in here, in there. Can you see it? Now look for the next trail and that little triangle there. And the next one. This is the easiest way to find your triangles. Follow the trail. That's that trail. Now the next trail is there. And there's the triangle. Cheese, yummy. And next trail, there's the triangle. And that's a very tiny triangle there from that trail. And then we've got a really tiny one here. Follow the next trail, and there it is there, that tiny triangle. And here. Now this one is very hard to see, but there is a little triangle there. You see it? Right there. And the next trail there, and there's a little triangle at the bottom there. Next one. And this, from this trail here, there is one there. You can just see it in there. And here. And on this trail, There it is there. Trail. There's this one. I think that's it there. See, it's very difficult to see it. And actually, I'm not sure if that is it. I think it is. Okay, now the next one, you can see it is, there it is. It's like a little stitch. And the next one. Now pull this gently because that may be all you need. No, a bit more. We'll keep going round until we close up. There's a triangle there. There's the next one. And there's the next one. Now you could leave it like this and put a bead in there, or keep going. We'll keep going for a bit. That triangle. And this is the trail we're going for, this one here. So there is a triangle down there somewhere. Let's see if we can dig it out. You see it? There it is. Now the next one, trail there, and there is a little triangle. You can see how beneficial this type of needle is when you get to this point. Okay, now this trail, and it's not that piece there, it's this piece below it. Tiny thing you can hardly see. There it is. Okay, now this piece here, this trail, you can see that little triangle right down the bottom there. Just grab that. And the next trail. I have to rethread. Okay, we're still going round. It's that trail there. And there is a little triangle in there. Here it is. When you get to this stage, if you can't find the triangles, then fasten it off. And fasten it off like we did this one. And now from this trail here, we've got another little triangle. And I'm not seeing it, so nope, I can't get that triangle. So I am going to close off now. So I'm going to just put it through there, put it through that next loop, and then back through and through the loop again. Then we're going to pull our knot really, really tight. But not so tight that your thread will snap. Okay, so this is what we've got. Now you can see we're slightly tear-shaped, and that's because when I was coming round this way, I didn't pull the thread quite tight enough. If I had pulled it a little bit tighter, we would have got the round. So be aware of that. Now you've got these pieces. I'm actually going to pop, oh my gosh, it's raining. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on this. Just on that piece there, so that I can cut this short tail off. Okay. Now I will leave this because I may put a dangling bead on here, or I may put 2 beads. So I'm going to leave that. As an option. I can always glue them and remove them all together. So this is what you've got so far. Now, we don't need the needle. Now decide how long you want your strands to hang. I'm going to go for, let's see, so 10, that's 20 inches, 20. I'm going to go for 22 inches on my first one. No, 22. I'm going to go 30 inches. I'm going to choose where my center is. Now, based on where these threads are, these are going to hang down here. So I will choose this as my center. So I'm going to put this in about 8 inches, I suppose. And then I'm going to tie this in place. Use the same wool you used to surround the wood. Okay. Okay. Seriously? Now I'm not sure if this wool's going to go through or if I will need a needle. I may need the needle. Yeah. Okay, we're going to put that through. Now we're going to put a little bit of glue inside the bead. You can use hot glue. I just don't have it turned on at the moment. That's why I'm not bothering with hot glue. And then push a feather up inside. Okay, that's all you need to do there. And then we'll go further down. Pop some glue in through the hole. Just trim off some of the ends of the feathers. Just pop that through. Okay, you can see where I'm coming from here. So you've got 2, hanging feathers on that one. Didn't mean to pull my needle out. Okay, we're going to do one more, at least one more on this one. There we go, got 3, and why do I keep doing that? These are wooden beads size. They're from RB. Yep, they are. Well, they're not going to tell me. Ten millimeter. Okay, I'm going to put this on the last one, and I'm going to pop a knot in the bottom of my wool. Just turn that off. Just pop some glue in there again. Oops. Okay, I don't know how I can show you this. From here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 feathers hanging from the middle. Okay, now with our little 8-inch piece, we're going to put another feather. Whoa! Has that got a hole? That hasn't got a hole. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Oh my goodness. How weird is that? That hasn't got a hole. Have a look. Huh. Weird. Now, okay, I'm going to tie a knot here. Whoops, about there. Trim off my thread. Pour some glue in and another feather. I've got 3 white feathers left. Excuse me just a sec. I do have some pastel colours, so I am going to use them instead of just plain white, just to give it some, I don't know, just a little bit of oomph. Oh, look at that beautiful colour. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so first up we're going to grab another, but this one's not going to be as long. So we're going 10, 20, maybe 24. 24. Okay, we're going to take this one up to, you can do it where you like. You can do them, you know, every inch or what have you. I'm going to take this one up to here. And I'm just taking about 6-inch strand. Now about 5 inches, I think. 5 inches maybe. I may not even use that much. This is a really lovely soft wool. It's very nice, very furry type. Right, another bead in. And let's put it somewhere not in line with any of these. Okay, so we're trying to fit it into the, can you see the difference there? We'll fit it there. Put some glue in there. And I do like this mauve. We'll stick a mauve feather up there. There we go. Pop another one in. Again, try and offset it from this one. Pop the glue. What colour? Let's go. Pop a pink one in now. These are beautiful pastel colours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is only going to have 3. So down to the last one. I'll tie a knot in the bottom of the wool. Okay. Put our glue in. I'm using art glitter glue. Love it. Dries reasonably quickly. And it's very strong. Okay, got some beautiful colours there. Now let's go to our little end bit. Tie a knot and trim off the excess. Well, gee whiz, that was dumb. I didn't put my bead in. Now tie your knot. Right, and I think I'm going to add a white. Where is it? Oh, that white feather in there. Okay, push it up. So you've got plenty of fur in there. And trim it. Okay, now we're going to the other side of the centerpiece. And again, we're going to go for 24 inches, but it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact at all. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll go up to here, I think. Make sure they're pretty much even. Oops, there we go. Okay, thread her up. This doesn't have to be even with that. As long as you have the same amount of feathers, it doesn't even have to be the same coloured feathers. Go away. I've got a pretty yellow one. So we're going to pop the yellow in there and snip off that top. Let's move that down to there. Okay, we've got that's all the colours we've got. So let's put a purple on that one. Now our last bead on this one, and tie a knot. Oops. Okay, and we'll go for a pink one. That's beautiful. Okay. Now this one, I'm only going to do 3 strands on this one, I think. You can do as many as you like. And I'm going to pop that blue one in. Okay. Let's see if I can show you. Let me just pop this up a bit. There we go. They really do look lovely. Okay. Now we're going to do something with this. I'm going to go with a bead first. Just pop some glue in there. And then I'm going to throw a feather in. Okay, there's that feather. I'm going to put a loop around that bead. Secure that with just a little bit of glue. Oops. Now put another bead on. And put a loop around that one as well. Tie this one off. Some glue on the knot for security. Now we're going to put another feather in there. Let's see. Let's go white. So we'll poke some glue in our hole there. And pop our feather in. this is what the front looks like. Now what you're going to need is a hanging loop. Depends on how long you want your hanger to be. I've got about probably 10, 20, about 23 inches. Okay, make sure that you're hanging straight down, and find out where your center of gravity is. We are up there, that's our center. I'm going to go this side of center. Take it to the back. And that was our center. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, just spread just a tiny little bit of glue on that knot and on this one, on both sides. Oh my word, we're in for a storm, I think. Okay. Now I'm just going to snip those little pieces off. Oh my word, listen to that rain. Okay, I'm going to hang this up and then I'm going to swivel the camera to show you. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let me pull the blind down. Put the light on. Whoops. Okay, there it is. There we go. Easy peasy. So I hope you found that easy and interesting, and you'll give it a shot. Okay, I'll tidy up in a minute. Okay, I hope somebody watches this and learns something from it. That would be awesome. If you do, make a comment. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Bye.